Alright, welcome back, and I want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers, and that just lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Please feel free to like and comment if there's anything you want to see, or if there's anything that I'm doing wrong, or, you can teach me a few pointers. Alright, so let's get started with this one. On this one, we have kind of a scenario here where all of these chamfers are the same. Now remember that there's a huge benefit to this. And I'm looking at the overall geometric shape of this, and it's a rectangle. So that just tells me that I can use the rectangle and then use the polyline function inside of that to create that. So all of these chamfers are the same, and we have a typical dimension on them. So that's really important for that. The rest of this is straightforward with just locating dimensions. The other thing that I would advise you do on this one is either start at 0, 0, or move your UCS to this point, which is 0, 0. And the reason I'm going to do that is because all of our dimensions are pulled from that one point. Alright, so let's jump over to AutoCAD and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and do our general housekeeping. We have our grid turned off. We're going to put our dynamic input on. We're going to put our ortho mode on. And here are my O snaps. And in this one, I won't need any O snaps, but here they are just in case. All right, so let's go ahead and create the rectangle first. So I'm going to select rectangle. And then remember that I need 2 coordinates to do this. So I'm going to start the lower left corner at 0, 0. Enter. And then I need to tell it where the upper right boundary is. And in this case, it's going to be 38.5, 17. And now that should get our rectangle. You can see that those 2 coordinates are easy enough to come up with. Here is my X component, and here's my Y component. If you want to kind of think of things or set your mind up to think of it, all of these numbers located here along the bottom are our X coordinates. And all of my numbers that are on the vertical sides, and that goes on both sides, are going to be our Y components. So keep that in mind when you're creating this. So we have our Y components, and then we have our other Y components. And here at the bottom we have our X. Okay, I'm just going to pan my screen up just a little bit, and remember that's just holding the middle mouse button down. And now I'm going to do all of the circles that have a diameter of 2. So I'm going to use my mouse this one time. So I'm going to come and choose circle center diameter. At this point I can take my hand off the mouse, and then I can just type in the coordinates. So the first coordinate I'm going to type in is 3.5, comma 14.67. Enter. And this circle has a diameter of 2. Enter. Alright, now just make sure that you're reading on the command line. Right now it's asking me to type a command. I'll hit enter, and now you see it at the bottom, and even on my cursor it's asking me to specify the center. So now I'll type in the next center, which is 6.37, comma 3. Enter. And now it's going to ask me what's the radius of that circle, but it's the exact same size as our last circle. So just hit the enter button, and then that'll place that circle. Alright, now I'm in no command. I'll hit enter. I'm looking down at my command line. I'm back into the circle command. Specify my next center, which is going to be 31, comma 11.85. Enter. It's the exact same size as the other one, so go ahead and hit enter. And then one more I have to create, so I'm going to hit enter. It's going to bring up the circle command. I'll specify the center point at 35, comma 4. Enter. Exact same size again, so go ahead and hit enter. Alright, now let's go ahead and knock out our other 3 circles. So I'll hit the enter command, and that's going to take me back to the circle command. And remember that I'm not touching my mouse here at all. I'm going to type in the coordinates of my circle that has a diameter of 4. Alright, so I'm going to type in 9.78, comma 12. Enter. And this is where things change at. If you're reading on your command line, and I'm going to touch my mouse here for a second just to kind of show you where I'm looking at. Down here it's asking me to specify a radius. Well, if I have my hand off the mouse, I can easily type in D, enter, and that stands for diameter, and then I'll type in 4, enter, and then that's going to change the size of that. All right, so now we have our new circle created, and we can just keep right on going. So I'll hit the enter button. I'll specify the dimensions, and it's going to be 18.3, comma 7.56. Enter. Exact same size as my last circle, so just go ahead and hit enter. Then we have one more circle that we have to put in, so I'll just hit enter one more time. Reading on the command line, it's asking me to specify the center of that circle. 26.95, comma 6.31. Enter. Exact same size, so I'll hit enter. All right, so now all of my circles are complete. Now let's take care of those chamfers that are on the edge there. So I'll go to the chamfer command, and remember that usually it's set up like this, but you can always select a drop down and choose chamfer. Choose the distance option, and then type in the distance. In this case, it's going to be 2. Enter. And with a 45 degrees, it's going to be the same distance for the second distance. So that's going to be 2 as well. And now we'll select the polyline function. We'll go ahead and select our rectangle. And now you see all of those polylines have those chamfers on them that we needed. All right. And that's all we need to do on this one. So that's going to conclude this video. So once again, thank you for watching this. And if you are a new subscriber or a new viewer to this channel, go ahead and hit that like button. Or if you just came here for the first time, I would love to have you as a subscriber. All right. So thank you for watching, and feel free to leave me a comment if there's anything you want to see. All right. Till next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.